Well, hello everyone. Welcome to class 6 of the Driven Mary Kay University. This class is on money management. Woohoo! So it's you sold something, now what? Okay. And so I think this is an important class, and I think that it is for a couple reasons. The main reason I think is important is because if you're not managing your money right, you're going to go broke, right? Like you are, because hobbies are expensive. So then you're starting to you're not tracking it, you're misspending your money. And so that's important. And the other thing is that attract number grows. And I believe that you have to have that. And so I remember being in the beginning and I would track all of this, all of it, all of it, all of it, everything I'm going to tell you today. So I hope that this class helps you. And so you're going to pull out your manual, and some of these pages here you're going to want to print out as well. So let's go through some simple 3 basics. Number 1, you always collect sales tax. The 7% is pretty typical in many counties, but if you're not sure, you're going to go online. Remember that we prepay our sales tax. So if you have something that's $100 and we pay 50, we actually pay 57. We pay the $50, but we pay the 7 on the sales, on the retail sales amount. We don't have to have a sales tax license in Mary Kay. Mary Kay takes care of all the sales tax for you. Okay, so that's important to know that we prepay it. Now, there are forms if somebody was a nonprofit order from you and they were tax exempt, and you can submit it to Mary Kay, and you could call them and find out, and they can somehow you get that back in your taxes. I'll be honest, for the little bit that is, to me, it wasn't worth the headache. So I have never done that. I've just prepaid it and I'm good to go. Okay. Number 2, you deposit the entire amount in a separate Mary Kay account. This is one used just for Mary Kay. A lot of times people tell me, do I need to have a business account? You don't have to have a business account. You're a 1099 at the end. If you have over 5,000 in commissions, over $5,000 in products and over 600 in commissions. So you do not need it. You can get a personal free checking account. People ask me, what do you use? I personally use the virtual wallet from PNC because it's one account, but it has 3 accounts within it. So I've always been able to say, okay, this money goes separate to my savings, and this goes to for conferences. And so I'm able to save money on there. So that's how I do it. I love that account, but it doesn't matter as long as it's free. Do not pay for an account. And then 3, complete your accomplishment sheet each Monday, and you're going to divide the money into 4 parts. So you can submit your weekly accomplishment sheets on Mary Kay in Touch. When you do that on Mary Kay in Touch, what happens is that it'll ask you, it'll break down for you. Number 1, tax. Number 2, and I'm going to try to do something really quickly. Sorry. Number 1 is tax. Number 2 is so tax is not yours, right? Don't touch it until it's time to reorder. So if you have, let's go with that $100, that $50, it was $100 sale, but you paid 50 for it. That $7 that is tax is not yours. So you cannot spend it or cannot use it as profit, because when you reorder that, you're going to pay that $7 again. Okay. The second thing is your reorder. That's 50% of it. That goes to reorder the product, and you leave it on your Mary Kay account. Reorders keep your business going. Okay. It's important that you do that. It keeps the business going. Okay. So that is your reorder, 50%. So that 50% would be 50 from the $100. This is why I like that other account, that split account, because I could just move it so I don't see it in the main one. Number 3 is your expenses, okay? And 10% of your sales will always remain for budgeted Mary Kay expenses. And I think that is always so important. People don't do that. So when your PCP comes, right now we don't have meeting fees. I used to have to pay for meeting fees. I used to pay for a lot of other things, prizes. And I would pay for so many things pre-COVID, right? And we don't have that. We really just have our PCP. If you get some samples, that helps, right? That you might want to do that. And depending how much you sell, you might want to put a little bit more. so you can start saving for conferences and all of that. You want to budget that in. And then 40% is your clean profit. And this is the amount that you transfer to your personal bank account. Okay, this is the amount that you transfer to your personal bank account. So really important that you do that. I'm trying to pull something up. 1 second. Give me 1 second. So here is that weekly accomplishment sheet. Okay. And you go on In Touch, you fill it out, and you see how you have here, you put the date, you put the hostess, you put the amount of hours, how many guests, how many orders, right? Like, you know, so it'll tell you why. I was there 3 hours, I had 5 guests, I had 4 orders, 3 of them booked from me. I sold 2 skincare sets. And then this is how much my sales were without tax. You could choose there. Was it a facial, on the go, parties, miscellaneous, reorders, shows? Then you have your sales tax, if you gave hostess gifts, if you gave any giveaways, and then non-recovered sales tax. That's the part that I told you you can reclaim back to the IRS, right? Like you had a giveaway and you gave away, you know, a charcoal mask, and whatever the tax is on that 240, you didn't really sell it, okay? And so this is how you do it. And when you create this and you do this, it's going to give you an hourly rate. It's going to give you what your net profit is. And this same thing you can give to your accountant. And it'll show how much you had in sales. If you've ordered over 5,000, you're also going to get it in a 1099. If you put a lot on ProPay will send you a 1099 as well. And then you can say, yeah, this is how much I sold. However, this is how much was hostess gifts and giveaways and non-recovered sales tax. And so this is actually what I sold. I even create a customer called personal use on here. So I know that I didn't make, you know, pay taxes or any of that. So this one is important. And I normally name my receipts. Now, here's another thing. At the end of the year, this will give you a full report that gives you all these numbers. You print it out, you give it to your accountant. Okay, the other thing is that this allows you as well. I get it as your weekly accomplishment sheet, but it allows you to track your sales, your customers, everything. Now, if somebody orders on the directly on the website, right? They go to your website and they do a checkout on their own. It'll automatically come to this. So I like that because it allows you to track everything. Okay, so that is your weekly accomplishment sheet. All right, so, and then I'm going to show you this here. Now, this is one that you could fill out if you want to track it on like a paper, but I suggest you really do it on the Mary Kay In Touch. That's my favorite. But this is the same thing, okay? But this allows you to track week by week, and this is if you're a visual and you want to print out. My dream goal is to take my family on vacation to Disney. It's going to cost you. Sales goal is like right over here, right? My sales goal is that it's going to cost me $3,000. Well, you know, you got to sell 3,000, get a profit of, sorry, you need to sell 6,000 to get a profit of 3,000. And you track week by week. This part here is the same that's in your weekly accomplishment sheet, right? And then here you can start tracking your sales, your profits, right? And you can start tracking them. And if you could do this, and it tells you how much more to your monthly goal. So whatever goal that is, you can track this every single month, printing it out and putting it on paper. Some people are good like that. I will tell you, when I did this, I never did that. I did a little thermometer, and I'll show you that. Like I had a piece of paper, and I printed out a thermometer, okay, like literally one of those that goes up, and I would say my goal is 3,000, and I would just like, I would crayon it in as I was going up, you know, the thermometer, that the thermostat. It's not a thermometer, I guess. I don't know what it's called, but a thermostat. Let me see if I can find what I'm talking about, and you guys will understand. Thermostat tracking. Let me see. Let me see. Here you go. I'm going to show you. It's one of these. You're going to know what I'm talking about. This is how I always tracked my stuff. It's any one of these, right? A goal tracker. And so like you could see like anything that you could do. And I would just pencil it in. I need this much. This is my start date, whatever. And I would track it. That's how I did it. However, and I would do my weekly accomplishment sheets. It's whatever's best for you. That's the reality. It's whatever's best for you. Whatever gets you excited. Okay. So then we'll go on. This is your tracking of your expenses for tax purposes. Okay. And actually, I'm going to go back 1 minute to this one. When you do this is important, especially in the beginning. Because I have people that, let's say that you take it and you collected, retail, you collected $1,000 and you're like, I still got product. I'm not going to invest my 50%. I'm not going to reorder it. What happens is that you start using your reorder, and before you know it, you don't have any products. And then you feel like you have to make another investment and it doesn't work. The other thing that happens too is that people think like you have to order the exact same thing. So let's say you normally carry 2 repair sets or 3 repair sets, and you're like, all I see is repair, I need an extra one. Well, then you got to order it. Or let's say that you didn't have any in the Mary Kay line and you realize I really need Mary Kay line because I'm getting a lot of younger girls. Then you can play with your inventory to get it where you need to be. Okay. But it's important to see really how much is the profit that you have after you paid for your reorder, your expenses, all of that, because that's the money that's going towards your goal. Okay, let's move on. Tracking expenses for tax purposes. Okay, you get deductions. I am so in shock when I see, because we always teach Mary Kay University, it's all there for you, that people do not do tax write-offs. So you got to keep it in the same account. I remember back in the day, I had the Mary Kay credit card, and now I have a different credit card that I like more for my points for travel, because seminar is always in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas is American Express, American Airlines. There's points. I got them, right? And so, but these are the things that you want to keep. Postage, your section 2, your meeting expenses, your travel, other, phone, internet, giveaways, hostess gifts, shipping materials, shipping, food, office supplies, contractors, demo products, home office expenses, professional attire, mileage, banking fees, subscriptions, and sales. You can print this out, okay? Now, whether you want to create a virtual folder, I know there's things like Expensify and other programs where you can take a picture, you can upload it to the folder, and it always stays there. That is phenomenal. If you're an old paper person, for many years, what I do is I just have like one of those accordions. I put them in alphabetical order. Every time I get a receipt, I put it. And then at the end of the year, I just go postage. Let me grab everything on postage. I scan all the receipts. I save it. Old school, but it works. So really, there's no right way or wrong way. But what surprises me is that people are not doing this. They're not putting things on their Mary Kay account, right? And so if you have to buy printer, that counts. If you have to buy paper, it counts. If I'm meeting somebody for a marketing for coffee, it's a tax write-off, right? If I am paying for a seminar, my flight, my travel, it is an expense. If I go to the Home Depot, Office Depot to print out this manual, that's a tax write-off, right? And so be smart about your taxes. Okay, be smart about your taxes, because there are a lot of tax write-offs. And as a matter of fact, I'll give you this one that I learned very later on. Let's say that you take somebody for coffee and you treat them for a coffee because they are a prospect. That meal is a 50% tax write-off. Why wouldn't you take advantage of it? Now, I'm hosting an event at my house, a class, and I go and I spend $30 in food. I buy some cookies, some drinks, some other things. That is 100% tax write-off because it's for an event. So you all get savvy with your things, because you can get plenty of tax write-offs, okay, with your business. Okay, so those are tax purposes. Now there's 2 sheets in here which I want to make sure that I go to. I really wish, as I was going through it, I realized they had it here and they didn't have it in the skincare class one. And so I think this is the perfect time. I'm just going to mention it, and I'll mention it again next week for color. Okay. But there is a starter kit checklist in here, and there is a post-party checklist. Okay. So if you have printed out your stuff, know that it's worthy to have it. And then I'm just going to go ahead for 1 minute. But the second date, which is the last one, has a lot of information that you might want to go ahead and look at, so that next week we're going to go through them and you want to have it handy. Okay. So we have walked you through your booking, the foundations of the business, right? Your weekly plan sheets, your time management. Then we went into booking. Then we went into coaching. Then we went into selling. Then we went into team building, and this is money management. Okay. And so we'll close off Mary Kay University next week with our cutter class. So let's get good with our money, you girls. Like, let's start making money. Let's start tracking our money. Remember that a tracked number grows. I'll see you next week for the final one.